In 2005, after the death of Latin wrestling legend Eddie Guerrero, Vince McMahon made a bold move. He started hunting for the next Latin superstar. By 2010, Alberto Del Rio was introduced as the new face for the Latin audience. A Mexican aristocrat, rich family, speech, moves, and style all reflected the Latin fans who made up over 60% of the company's revenue. But the reality behind Alberto Del Rio was far from the image. This man fought for years to reach the company. Despite his father being a famous wrestler, Alberto's journey was tough. Reaching a massive company under Vince McMahon with a huge media machine promoting him as the best Mexican wrestler was never easy. In this video, we reveal how Alberto Del Rio went from a wrestler with huge potential to someone with no chance of success in wrestling. So let's dive in.
Before we dive into the details of Alberto Del Rio's problems with the company, we need to take a step back and take a quick look at his career before he reached WWE. Because Alberto, before the world knew him by this name, was wrestling as Dos Caras Jr., a masked wrestler, and at the same time competing in MMA, something rare at that time. He was wrestling in local Mexican promotions and moving between them and Japanese promotions, trying to build his name and prove himself before the big opportunity with Vince McMahon. But Alberto's reputation in the beginning, it wasn't the best. He was known as a difficult negotiator. He could sign a contract with a promotion and then suddenly decide not to show up for scheduled events. This caused him big problems. It ruined his relationships with major investors in the field and made his name associated with unreliability.
Despite all this, in 2009, Alberto managed to get a developmental contract with Vince McMahon and appeared in the developmental system for training wrestlers. In less than a year, Alberto made his debut on SmackDown under the name we know today, Alberto Del Rio, with the persona that became his signature, the aristocratic Mexican man, rich, arrogant, presented as someone with the ability to become a WWE champion and one of its biggest stars. He was always accompanied by his personal manager, Ricardo. Every new appearance, a fancy car, new details, small things, but they were an essential part of building the character. And everyone noticed one thing: Vince McMahon was pushing Alberto in every way. It was clear he saw in him the Latin face WWE needed. The first real test? A direct feud with one of the most famous Mexican wrestlers in history, Rey Mysterio.
And actually, Vince McMahon decided to give Alberto the opportunity to defeat Rey Mysterio in more than one match and destroy the undefeated hero image that was associated with Rey. After that, Alberto entered feuds with big names like Matt Hardy, Big Show, and Christian, and even got a chance for a world title match. But he lost. And here was the real beginning of the path that was never at all what people expected. And despite the loss, this opportunity in itself was a huge success for Alberto. Because in just 1 year, he moved from a new wrestler to a wrestler competing for major titles. And the push didn't stop here. Alberto was also presented on NXT as a trainer for new wrestlers that the company was preparing for the main shows. And as a reminder,
All this was in just his first year with the company. During this period, Alberto was the trainer for Brodus Clay, who later became his personal assistant during the shows. And in 2011, Alberto was added to the Royal Rumble match. And here, he achieved the biggest victory of his career at that stage and won the match and secured a world title opportunity at WrestleMania. The opponent, one of the biggest and most famous wrestlers in history, Edge. And for the record, this match was Edge's last match before his retirement in 2011 and before he returned many years later. And at the event, Alberto lost the match, but in return, he earned the respect of Vince McMahon and the management because he delivered a strong performance and proved he was capable of being at the level of the event. After that, he played another title match, but lost it due to the company's decision to honor Christian, Edge's partner.
After that, the company decided to move Alberto to the Raw brand, and he immediately entered a storyline with Big Show, then participated in a Money in the Bank match.
And the result?
Alberto Del Rio won the briefcase. From here, he entered a direct storyline with John Cena and CM Punk, after John Cena lost the title to CM Punk at the same event. At SummerSlam of the same year, Alberto cashed in the contract and won for the first time in his career the WWE Championship. The decision? It was not surprising. But at the same time, it was rejected by most of the company staff. Many of them felt it was unfair, especially since Alberto was a new wrestler, while most felt the story should continue with CM Punk, who was at the peak of his success and the audience fully supported him. For this reason, Vince McMahon decided that John Cena would defeat Alberto and regain the title to please the audience, who largely rejected Alberto. But despite all this,
Vince did not stop supporting him. He kept trying to push Alberto by putting him in a cage match against John Cena and CM Punk. And Alberto won again. And here, the story was still not over. After that, the same scenario repeated. Alberto played a new match against John Cena, but this time he managed to win and retain the WWE Championship. Then, he immediately entered a second match against CM Punk at Survivor Series. The build-up for this match? It was clear from the beginning. The entire storyline was in favor of CM Punk, while Alberto was presented as someone afraid of the confrontation and avoiding it. And, as expected, Alberto lost the title, and CM Punk began his historic run with the WWE Championship that lasted for more than a year. In 2012, Alberto returned from injury and immediately went after the World Championship against Sheamus.
but this story, it was a series of consecutive losses from Alberto against Sheamus, with no real progress. After that, he entered a storyline against Randy Orton, but it was just a feud to increase the popularity of Orton and Alberto, without any real build. By the end of 2012, the company decided to take a new step, turning Alberto into a fan-favorite character. The Spanish hero persona, defending Spaniards, led him into a feud with Big Show for the World Championship. The result? Alberto won the title, and for the first time in his career, he became champion while playing the fan-favorite character. Even at WrestleMania 29, Alberto managed to win, but the joy didn't last. At the next Raw, Dolph Ziggler cashed in on Alberto, defeated him, and took the title. After that, Alberto's character turned back into the hated persona, and this time, not by the company's decision, but because the audience did not accept Alberto as champion.
Despite that, Alberto came back and won the title again while in the hated persona, then entered a new storyline with John Cena. Indeed, John Cena won and removed Alberto from the title picture. But Alberto didn't disappear. He then entered a feud with Batista, a feud that wasn't attractive to the audience for a simple reason. Both were disliked by the fans. Here, it became clear that Alberto's problem was no longer about championships, but something much deeper. And after that, the real decline began. A series of continuous losses, gradual disappearance from the spotlight, until in 2014, the company officially announced the firing of Alberto Del Rio. The reason? Assaulting an administrative staff member inside the company. And it didn't stop there. The company started posting tweets confirming that Alberto was out of the company and that they were not responsible for any actions he might take. Alberto's response?
He said the assault was the result of a racist act by the administrative staff member. After an official investigation, the story was confirmed. The staff member was indeed fired, and Alberto was reinstated to the company in 2015. His return was strong, a direct match against John Cena, a clear victory, and winning the United States Championship. But the push didn't continue. Alberto then joined a failed stable, including Sheamus, Rusev, and Wade Barrett. Everyone saw the group as just one tool to elevate Roman Reigns more and more. And here, Alberto officially turned. From a champion with a big future to someone used in humiliating ways on the shows. In 2016, Alberto resigned from the company. He justified his decision by his dissatisfaction with everything presented to him, and confirmed that most of Vince McMahon's promises were false. But at the same time, strong rumors emerged that the real reason was his dissatisfaction with how the company handled his relationship with an employee named Paige.
At that time, Alberto and Paige were in a public relationship, appearing together everywhere, but at the same time, they were arrested multiple times for prohibited substances. After his resignation, Alberto returned to appear in local Mexican shows, and in one of those events, Paige appeared with him in one of his matches. Immediately after, Paige's family went public and stated they were not happy with the relationship, describing Alberto as a disturbed and mentally ill person. Not long after, news came out of Alberto and his brother being arrested arrested after assaulting a fan at one of the local shows. In 2017, after being released, Alberto went live and started attacking Triple H and the company directly. Here was the official end between WWE and Alberto Del Rio. After that, clips started circulating showing Alberto assaulting Paige in a restaurant. Along with that, more serious stories began to emerge, describing how he abused her and exploited her in illegal substance trafficking. For Alberto, things were getting more and more complicated. In 2020, he was arrested again, accused of assaulting his new girlfriend at the time. After being released, Alberto returned to wrestle in amateur wrestling promotions, but his career was completely destroyed. From a person who wrestled Edge's last match, defeated John Cena, and was a future global star, to a broken person wrestling matches in small local clubs. And so ended one of the most tragic stories in wrestling history.